Welcome to ZANE Radio, audio updates from ZANE's friends and partners on the ground in Zimbabwe. My name is John Haynes. In this episode, Margaret, one of ZANE's partners, tells us of the effect of rampant inflation on ZANE's beneficiaries and the tragic story of one particular pensioner.
Emerging from almost 6 months of lockdown restrictions, pensioners in Zimbabwe are reeling at the prices of almost everything on the shelves, which have increased by 500%. That single box of tea bags, which was $50 in March when lockdown began, is now $300. Nothing has been spared in the spiralling inflation, and every week we go shopping, our bags get lighter and lighter, while the numbers on the till slips get bigger and bigger. 18 months ago, when the Zimbabwe government converted all our US dollars to Zimbabwe dollars, the rate was 1-to-1. In March 2020, when lockdown began, the exchange rate was 25 Zim dollars for $1 US, and now 6 months later, the official exchange rate is 80-to-1 in the bank, but 100-to-1 everywhere else, which is the rate everyone uses. Changing our US dollars to Zimbabwe dollars meant that every $100 a pensioner had in a bank or pension fund was only worth $40 US when lockdown began. But now that $100 is only worth $1 US. People who had budgeted and saved for a retirement based on needing $500 US a month found their life savings destroyed when they were converted into Zim dollars, and now find themselves with just $5 US in their purses for a month, not even enough for a single packet of blood pressure pills. Getting sick in Zimbabwe is our worst nightmare, and without support from family and friends outside the country, pensioners just wouldn't be surviving. We've gone back to that horrific time of a decade ago of cutting our pills in half to make them last longer, not going to see doctors and dentists or having x-rays, scans and blood tests that we need because we can't afford them. Recently, an emergency call for help came from the next-door neighbour of June, a pensioner in a cottage in a small retirement complex. June had been struggling for a couple of months, and her friend had found her on the floor in her cottage. ZANE had been helping June for years. A box of groceries, help with rent, a top-up of electricity, medicines, hospital bills, or whatever else we could help her with. When June collapsed, neighbours rallied round, lifted her into the back of a car and rushed her to the nearby clinic, which was the only facility allowing non-COVID patients. When the call for help came, it was for an ambulance to move June to a hospital in a town 100 kilometres away. Despite having medical insurance, the ambulance wouldn't take June without an upfront cash payment of $200 for the 200-kilometre round trip. While the calls went backwards and forwards to try and make the arrangements and guarantee the cash payment, June slipped away. In the months before she died, June's clinic's fees had come to 100,000 Zimbabwe dollars. A terrifying reality of life in Zimbabwe today, where people's pensions are around 500 Zimbabwe dollars a month. June's struggles are over, but there are many thousands more like her who couldn't survive without the help of ZANE's donors. And so from June, thank you for helping us.
Thank you for listening to ZANE Radio. Please donate to ZANE at www.zane.uk.com. Music was by Kevin MacLeod at www.incompetech.filmmusic.io.